Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, January 2nd through Sunday, January 8th, 2017. So we're in a new year, and this is the first full week of that new year. You'll want to also go back and take a look at the monthly angel card reading for January 2017 to get a little bit of an overview and idea of what the universal energy for 2017 is, as well as the universal energy overall for January as a month. Now, for this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Fairy Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And for your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, we're going to be using the Magical Unicorns Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. So let's take a look at your stones of choice for that special message card. Your first stone of choice is Howlite. Now, with all of these stones, I oftentimes will give you keywords or metaphysical properties or what chakras they relate to. And actually for this one, we're going to give you the chakras that it mostly relates to, but Spirit wanted me to share with you so that you could choose your stone about the psychic abilities that might be associated with these stones in what we call the clairs. So if Howlite is your stone of choice, then you might be more tuned into claircognizance abilities. Now, we always think of clairvoyance as being able to clearly see, but with claircognizance, you're able to just know things. And a lot of times you don't know how you know them, but you just know them. And that relates to the crown chakra of just opening up to higher guidance and messages. Your second stone of choice is Seraphinite. Now the Seraphinite, being green in color, is going to relate to the heart chakra, but this associates with the clairsentience ability. Clairsentience is where you feel things. It deals with the emotions and the feelings, so that you're sensing energies or feeling energies. You know, you feel what is right, or you sense what is right through your emotions and your feelings, and how you're, how that makes you actually feel. So again, this is going to relate to heart chakra energies, opening that heart chakra. And your last stone of choice is Sodalite. And Sodalite is this beautiful blue stone that's going to, of course, relate to the throat chakra, but it also relates to the ear chakras. And this is our clairaudience ability. And clairaudience is clear hearing, and where we hear messages. Our angels and guides might be speaking to us. Now, sometimes this feels like it's messages like on an inner level in your head, almost like you're talking to yourself in your mind. A lot of times you have to discern, is that actually the ego talking to you, or is it higher guidance? And that, again, that could be angels, guides, or your higher soul self that's actually speaking to you and giving you that clairaudience type of guidance. You might ask, well, how do I discern the difference with the clairaudience? If it's a fearful message, or a message saying that you can't or you shouldn't do something, that's going to be the ego talking. But if it's a message like a good friend that's trying to give you support, or a cheerleader that's, cheering you on, and there's a positive, soul-guided message, that's going to be actually from your angels and guides, or from your higher soul self. So again, your stones of choice are the Howlite, which is that white stone that relates to the crown chakra and claircognizance, the Seraphinite, relating to the heart chakra and clairsentience, and the Sodalite, which relates to the throat chakra and clairaudience. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrology for the week. This first week of the year, yay! I am so glad it's 2017. Whole brand new energy. Feeling like we're right with the world again, at least we hope so, and we're gearing up and ready to go into something new directions, new opportunities, and new people. So as far as the astrology for the week, we have Venus, which is the planet that rules relationships, and it rules money and finances. It rules the divine feminine energy. And Venus is going into the sign of Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, and a sign that deals with spirituality and unconditional love and compassion and selfless service to other people. So Venus here is very romantic. You know, it's a very, when it comes to relationships, Venus in Pisces feels very romantic, and it's all about the fantasy and the white knight on the horse. Now, in regards to money and finances, that part of Venus, it actually gets a little cloudy when it's in, you know, Pisces, and, you know, we might romanticize things, even things outside of relationships we're romanticizing, but a lot of times, because Pisces is a water sign, when it deals with finances and money, it's almost like we can't hang on to it. But the good thing about Venus in Pisces is that it's, again, very loving and compassionate and creative and artistic and just very feminine energy. Now, Venus is going to be in Pisces until February 3rd. So, you know, for all of this month of January, as of the 3rd, it's going to be in that sign. Mercury on Wednesday is retrograding back into Sagittarius. Now, remember, in December, when Mercury went retrograde, it was around 14 to 15 degrees of Capricorn, almost conjuncting Pluto, which, you know, was very powerful and transformative as far as our mindset, our thoughts, and our belief systems when it got to that point. Now that it's retrograding back into Sagittarius, I actually think this is a good placement for Mercury, even though it's retrograde. It's very inspirational and, again, very creative on a mental level. Now, the fact that Mercury is retrograde in this first week of the year is signifying that it's a time to redo and rework and reanalyze and reorganize and research, and it's almost like we're getting ready. So as far as, you know, January, it's the first month of the year, it's the first week in January, and everybody's raring to go forward. I feel like we just need to clean up a little bit. You know, again, it's reorganizing things. It's making sure that we have a list ready. You know, we're getting ready to implement something new or move forward, but I don't feel like the time is quite right yet because Mercury is retrograde, and you never want to start something new during a Mercury retrograde. Now, if you're already in the midst of doing something, you've already been working on a project, you've already been writing that book, or you know, something's already in motion, then yeah, Mercury retrograde is a great time to continue on with it. But again, if it's something brand new, you don't want to start it while Mercury is retrograde typically. Now, unless you have Mercury retrograde in your birth chart, when you were born and you have Mercury retrograde, that's actually a great time for you. It's almost like backwards. So most people will have Mercury in a forward motion in their birth chart, and then when Mercury goes retrograde, it's just a time to kind of hang back and wait a little bit. But for those of you that were born with Mercury retrograde, this is actually when you all get a lot done. Okay, so anyway, Mercury retrogrades back into Sagittarius on Wednesday the 4th. Now, on Friday and Saturday, the 6th and 7th of January, now this depends on where you live in the world as far as what time, and that's why it's covering both those days, Friday and Saturday. The Sun in Capricorn will be connecting with Pluto, and again, Pluto is that planet of transformation and big changes and transmuting old energies and death and rebirth. So it's very powerful. And the Sun coming up and connecting with Pluto is gonna transform us for sure. Okay, so there's this self-identity, personality, ego kind of transformation that we're going through, because that's what the Sun rules, is our personality and our ego and our identity. And I feel like we're going through some sort of death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. Now, of course, this can be in outside circumstances as well, especially in career matters, life path matters, because Capricorn is a sign that rules that area of life. But when Pluto and the Sun come together on Friday and Saturday, I feel like we're feeling much more powerful. You know, this is again energies of claiming your power, owning your power, standing in your power, taking back your power, because that's, again, what Pluto's all about. Then on Sunday the 8th, we have Mercury going stationary direct. So, you know, on Wednesday it retrograded from Capricorn back into Sagittarius, and then on Sunday it's moving back to direct motion. So after this week, going into next week, it'll still be slow. Mercury will still be slow moving for a few days, so you might want to give it a little bit of time. But after Mercury turns direct on Sunday, then it's time to implement the new plans, or start the new direction, or claim the new opportunity. Now, if something's already come into your life, you know, last week of December, this week, this first week of January, if something's just popped in, then it's divinely guided. And, you know, definitely go ahead and act on it, unless, again, you can wait to make your final answer until after Mercury goes direct. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what our angels and guides have to say through the Fairy Tarot deck. Let's see, we'll turn over the first card. Okay, we start out with a Major Arcana. This is Major Arcana number 2. It's the High Priestess. The message at the bottom says, trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. Well, that's exactly what I was just talking about with Mercury retrograde this week. It's slowing down, it moves back into Sagittarius, it does turn direct, but not until Sunday. So again, this is a time to review and go within and reflect and you know, listen to your intuitive guidance. That's what the High Priestess is all about. You can see her standing here with a book open. So it's like she has, I almost get the sense they said Akashic records. So, okay, this is confirming. This is your higher soul self connecting with your own truth, with your Akashic records, with the truth of who you are and what your next step is and what you're to be doing. And you can connect with your own Akashic records by meditation. The more you meditate, the more you go within, the more you self-reflect, you know, the more you silence your ego mind or the mental realm and just be, you know, just be in a state of beingness. That's when you can connect with your Akashic records and kind of get this guidance, again, through your psychic senses of claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and just listen for however that message comes into you, to, you know, allow yourself to, again, read your own Akashic records, or you can go to a psychic if you want, or someone who can do that for you. But remember, we're here empowering ourselves, and this is a time where you can empower yourself, take charge of your life, again, new beginnings, and listen to your own inner heart, listen to your own inner guide to give you that information. And again, I feel like, you know, taking time to reflect. Again, we're still reflecting on the past energies and letting go of the past and what we need to do next. That's where we need to focus our reflection now, is what do we need to do next? What's the next step? Let's take a look at the second card. Let's see if it gives us further information. And by the way, they're saying about this number 2, the 2 of the High Priestess is about balance too. So staying balanced and having a sense of patience. They're saying patience is needed right now. Now this is the Ace of Summer, which is like the Ace of Cups in the traditional tarot. The message says, open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual opportunities. Now the Ace is always about a new beginning. Let you take a look at some of that symbology in the words at the bottom there. But the Ace is a new beginning, but this is the summer suit. Again, this is cups, so it's a new beginning as far as how we feel. It's a new beginning with our emotions, our feelings, our deep spiritual connection with ourselves. And although this does sometimes mean that there could be a new beginning in a relationship or a new relationship that comes in, now that of course can be true, but I'm getting more of a sense that this is about awakening your own psychic senses, because we're piggybacking right off the High Priestess here, which is about your inner intuition, your inner guidance. So I feel like there's an awakening here in this first week of the new month of the new year. We're opening up our heart chakra. We're opening up our psychic senses. We're awakening those feelings within us that really is our guidepost. Our guiding light is our feelings and how we feel about things. For instance, if you're contemplating a job change, maybe let's say you're being offered a different position. How do you feel about that? Maybe it's the line of work you want to be in, but that organization and the people that are offering it, does that make you feel excited? Do you feel, comfortable around those people when you're interviewing? Or is your inner guidance and your inner feelings saying, wait a minute, something just doesn't feel right? That's what they're talking about here by awakening your own psychic senses. And this is something that's going to be happening, and I feel like it's just the beginning. It's not that it just is going to happen this week, but it's the beginning of this, and it's happening throughout at least this first month, I feel. Now, we have this beautiful like white dove here, which to me is a symbol of hope. So I feel like they're saying to hold on to that sense of hope and trust and faith, because again, it's like you're spreading your wings here, just like this beautiful little girl fairy is spreading her wings, the dove is spreading its wings. It's like you're getting ready to fly. But again, this is on an emotional level. You're opening your heart chakra. You're spreading your angelic wings. You're opening up and awakening your psychic abilities. And this is going to help you to be able to discern through clairsentience, because that's what the feelings are all about, is clairsentience. It's going to help you to discern what's right for you. What's the right next step for me on my path? Okay, let's take a look at the last card. Last card. Okay, we have the Three of Spring. Now, spring is going to be fire in the traditional tarot suit. So this is a Three of Fire or the Three of Wands. And the message at the bottom here says, plan your next step with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. So this has that same message that I spoke of earlier. Have a little bit of patience here. You might not be galloping and getting ready to, move into something brand new in this first week. Now, I feel like it is in this first month, but again, Mercury is going direct on Sunday. So I feel like as we move into next week and the third week of January, things are going to start to move forward a little bit better. So this is saying to make your plans. It says plan your next steps, which is what we were talking about too with Mercury retrograde, is making that list. What are the to-dos that I have to do? Like, for instance, I'm working on some changes to my website, so I'm making a list of the things that I need to talk about with my web person and what changes I want to make. So when you make a list, you're not forgetting anything, and then you're always adding to that list. What's the next step? What do I want to pay attention to? And I feel like this is also telling me that there's a highly creative energy. Again, Mercury going back into Sagittarius. Highly inspirational, highly creative, new ideas, expanding your perceptions, expanding your horizons. I feel like they're talking about growth, expanding yourself and getting yourself more out there, more seen, more recognized for who you are and what you do. So use your creative abilities. If your creative abilities is writing, or if your creative abilities is through speaking, or, it could be anything artistic, anything creative. Could be music. Venus and going into Pisces is very musical. So whatever artistic talent you have, be creative. Now, if you feel like you don't have an artistic talent, be creative anyway. Draw, dance, sing, change, add some things to your home, like home decorating, and put some color, put splashes of color in different places. Do that, because that is going to help the creative juices to start to flow, which helps then the energies in your life to start to flow a little bit better. All right, so let's take a look at your special message depending on your stone of choice. So if you chose the Howlite, let's go ahead and shuffle our magical unicorn deck, and we're going to call in our angels and archangels and guides and teachers and ascended masters of the light. All right, and ask for the message for Howlite people. Howlite people. And I'm just looking for a card that sticks up like this one here for me. No? All right. There's 2 cards coming out, so I'm going to pull both of them for Howlite. Okay, we have love. That's funny. Love and exercise. So apparently, you all who chose the Howlite, I feel like the exercise they're saying is about movement. If you move your body, it kind of releases energies that are caught or stuck within the cellular memory or within the energetic body. Let's see what the message at the bottom actually says for this one. It says, run, walk, swim, or otherwise move your body. This will give you more energy and happiness. So definitely that's part of it, is just getting that spiritual energy moving. You know, again, it can, a lot of times we create blocks within our physical, emotional, or mental or spiritual body. And by doing yoga or exercising, stretching, that helps to unblock certain energies. And it gives us the idea, too, that, forward movement. I feel like exercise and getting that energy, that blood circulating, helps with forward movement. Now, love, it says, the answer that you're seeking is love. Now, remember, this can be about a relationship, but I feel like it's more about awakening the heart center, opening up the heart chakra to that energy of unconditional love, because that, again, is where blessings start to come in, or magic starts to take place, is when we're emanating that unconditional love. That's where things start to happen. All right. Let's put that there for the Howlite people. And then for those of you that chose the Seraphinite, let's give this a little shuffle and ask for the message for Seraphinite, and this one's catching my eye. Seraphinite people, brothers and sisters. The message at the bottom actually says, to get along with others, see the love and the best within them. Now, I feel like this is about brothers and sisters of humanity. I feel like this is about everybody on the planet being your brother and sister. So treating each other, treating each person that you meet, that you work with, that you cross paths with, treating them as you would your best friend, treating them as you would a precious family member, looking at all people as your brothers and sisters of the stars, of the universe, because that's truly what we are. And again, this is saying the same thing, to get along with others. See the love and the best within them. So again, this is talking about love, unconditional love, which goes with the Ace of Summer card that we have here, opening up that heart chakra and just, befriending people, respecting people, helping people, assisting people, loving people. I feel like this year we're going to see more and more, we're going to feel more and more that interconnectedness between all of us. All right, and then for those of you that chose the Sodalite. So here we have Sodalite people. This one's sticking up. Sodalite. It says, this is interesting, it says you'll know in the morning. So whatever your question was, whatever you've been thinking about, it's basically saying you need a little bit of time here. Now, they're saying that you'll know in the morning is actually symbolic for you'll know soon. So it might be that during your sleep time you have the answer by the time you wake up in the morning, but I feel like this also could be a few days, so you'll know in a short bit of time. But let's read the message at the bottom. It says, when you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. And the reason why I feel like it actually might be a few days is because they keep showing me Mercury going direct on Sunday, and they're saying it might be until Mercury goes direct on Sunday at the end of the week before you have an idea of what to do next, until you have that information coming in or those messages from Spirit that's guiding you. So have patience. Now, open up your crown chakra with this one, because there's a lot of purple here, and this lovely maiden is riding on a unicorn. Actually, she's not really riding, but she's standing still. just like you need to stand still and just be in the present moment. And that's the best thing you can do, is just be in the present moment. Be aware of what's going on around you in the here and now, and ask for a sign, ask for a message, ask for some indication what it is that you need to do next, and then be open and trusting that that is going to come to you within a few days, if not the next day from hearing this. Okay? All right, so I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. Again, don't forget to listen to the January monthly angel card reading and any soul reflections videos that I may do as well. I'm thinking about actually doing one for the whole year and just focusing on that and maybe giving messages for each sign. I haven't really decided yet, but until then, there's always daily messages on my Facebook pages, Colleen, Lemma, and Sacred Soul Empowerment, so be sure to tune in and look at those. And I send you all much love and light for this new and wonderful, glorious year's energy. Many, many blessings for a happy, prosperous, abundant new year.